This is CTV News with Nafisa Karim.
These cancer-causing agents is tremendous for our department.
Reducing the risk for firefighters. How an island fire department is changing up their gear to keep workers safe.
Any that's responsible should be doing whatever they can to get this cleaned up as quickly as they can.
A suspicious smell leads hikers to an oil spill along a popular trail. Its impact on city infrastructure and a call from residents for someone to take responsibility. Plus, Adam finds out what happened after a Victoria woman discovered an uninvited visitor had entered her home through the chimney. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. January is Firefighter Cancer Awareness Month, so it's fitting the Esquimalt Fire Department is unveiling its new turnout gear. It's free from a chemical that has been linked to a high risk of many types of cancers within the firefighting community. As CTV's Brendan Strange shows us, the Esquimalt Fire Department is the first on the island to get the new gear and hopes other departments will soon follow suit.
When firefighters respond to a call, their first priority is to save lives. Although up until a few years ago, many didn't know that the turnout gear that was meant to protect them were potentially putting their own health at risk due to a chemical embedded in the garment.
PFAS, nicknamed the forever chemicals, because when they enter your body, they're there forever, and they're linked to cancer.
It's a toxic compound that has been used in the gear since the 1970s. Now the Esquimalt Fire Department has become the first department on the island to replace its gear with new PFAS-free protection.
Removing these cancer-causing agents is tremendous for our department.
Cancer is the leading cause of death in the firefighting industry.
In BC, it's over 90%.
The harmful chemicals lie within the vapor barrier of the protective clothing. When firefighters begin to heat up, those chemicals are released, leaching into their bodies.
The PFAS issue in our turnout gear came to light just a few years ago.
The president of the Esquimalt Firefighters Association calls the transition a huge game changer for the safety of the department's members.
Anything we can do to mitigate the risk of cancer in our work is welcomed.
Esquimalt Fire has now replaced one full set of turnout gear for its 36 members at the cost of roughly $150,000. It hopes to replace a full set of backup gear next within the coming years.
We've got some other fire departments who have got 1 or 2 or 10 or 12 sets in that department, and they're moving forward. It's all down to budgeting.
Jay Everett is with Brogan Fire and Safety, which is the company that supplied the Esquimalt Department with the PFAS-free turnout gear, produced by Globe Manufacturing out of the United States.
It's a little bit more expensive because the textile manufacturers have been spending millions of dollars over the last few years trying to come up with the new textiles, which can be PFAS-free.
Esquimalt's fire chief credits the support of municipal government for making the transition to safer gear a reality.
Absolutely couldn't have done this without Mayor and Council.
Brendan Strange, CTV News, Esquimalt.
A conservation group in Nanaimo is demanding answers after an oil spill was discovered near a popular hiking trail. As CTV's Andy Garland reports, the group wants a swift cleanup and to find out who's responsible.
Members of the Save Cable Bay group, who are trying to protect the popular hiking spot, recently discovered something concerning along the shoreline.
There was a significant diesel smell, and so I touched the rocks, and that's where I noticed the diesel all over my hand.
The area is frequented by marine mammals.
Lately, there's been quite a bit of orca activity through Dod Narrows, which goes right past where this oil has been spilled.
The group says they've contacted multiple different agencies, including the city and province, but so far, no cleanup effort has taken place.
It's disappointing. I heard that the spill happened on January 2nd. The city wasn't informed until January 5th, so I'm not sure what was done in between January 2nd and 5th.
The source of the spill is believed to have originated from an outflow pipe beside C-SPAN terminal at Duke Point. C-SPAN tells CTV News they're not responsible, but did deploy their containment booms on Monday.
We're really thankful to C-SPAN for their cooperation on this and getting the containment booms out there. Now we're just hoping that this gets cleaned up quickly. We don't know what the quantity really is, but it's substantial.
The city of Nanaimo says the spill has been traced to undisclosed private property in the Duke Point Industrial Park and and it's impacting a city underground storm drainage pipe to the outfall.
The company that's responsible should be doing whatever they can to get this cleaned up as quickly as they can.
The Ministry of Environment is in charge of the investigation. We reached out to them, but did not hear back before our deadline.
We will be advocating to the city, to the Minister of Environment, anywhere we can to get it cleaned up.
Andy Garland, CTV News, Nanaimo.
A Vancouver Island river has topped the list of endangered rivers in BC, according to an advocacy group. The Cowichan River tied for top spot with the heart of the Fraser. That's a stretch of the river in the Lower Mainland between Mission and Hope. The Outdoor Recreation Council publishes the list annually in hopes of drawing attention and spur government action. The group says the dumping of toxic waste and garbage are contributing factors, but climate change is the biggest threat for the Cowichan River. An estimated 85,000 juvenile steelhead died in 2023 due to low water flow. But the group says there are plans to raise the weir to allow more water to flow in the summer months.
A huge step forward for the river and its fish stocks. There are a number of groups working on this, the Cowichan Nations, as you know, the Cowichan Watershed Board and others. They pulled together about $28 million. They need a little more than $40 million to finish the project. So we are hoping that the weir will go ahead. We are hoping the government will provide some additional support. And we're also hoping the governments will help to expedite the process.
Meantime, the group says the Fraser River is being threatened by urbanization and development, and it is one of the most important salmon and sturgeon spawning habitats in the province. Police on the West Shore have recovered construction equipment and several stolen vehicles worth roughly $140,000. The RCMP is sharing pictures of the items that have yet to be returned to their rightful owners. They were found after police tracked down a man wanted on warrants. When he was arrested a few weeks ago, Mounties recovered a stolen pickup truck and a trailer carrying construction equipment. A few search warrants later, they found another stolen pickup truck, 2 trailers, and various tools. If you see anything that belongs to you, contact West Shore RCMP. As speculation swirls around who could run to be Victoria's next mayor, one high-profile name says he's not committed yet. Recently retired Victoria Police Chief Del Manick says he hasn't decided whether to run in October, but is saying he has some community support, believes he would be a good fit, and will make a decision in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, current mayor Marianne Alto says she's firmly in the race and will run for a second term. Municipal elections in BC are scheduled for October 17th. BC Transit is getting ready to go digital with its Handy Dart services, giving users easier access to booking rides. BC Transit has signed a contract with a Vancouver-based company called Share to bring their online booking and dispatch technology to their system. The online portal will help riders book and manage trips, offer digital registration, send push notifications, and real-time updates. It will also help drivers with navigation and real-time updates. Transit says the $6 million price tag will make Handy Dart services more effective and efficient.
It's the first step. This is just laying the foundation to allow riders to have a more modern experience utilizing Handy Dart, and also allowing BC Transit and our operating partners more insight into usage, so that we can work with our local government partners to better understand and enhance and plan for the service of the future.
Riders will still be able to book rides by phone. Transit says the system will be rolled out in all the communities it serves in BC, but did not give an exact timeline of when customers can expect to see the new technology. We'll get ready to dance the night away to one of the world's greatest artists' top hits right here in Victoria.
All I wanted was my name, Tina Turner.
Broadway across Canada is playing Tina, the Tina Turner musical at the Royal Theatre. The musical follows the life and inspiring journey of the 12-time Grammy winner who broke barriers and became the queen of rock and roll. Show opened last night and runs until January 11th. After the break, too close for comfort.
You hear us joking and laughing in the video because it felt like a joke.
The legroom situation that has airline customers kicking up a storm.
Temperatures hit 7 degrees for a daytime high in Victoria earlier this afternoon. It's 4 degrees right now as you take a look outside under mostly cloudy skies. A few more scattered showers over the next few days and then some heavier, steadier rain in the long-term forecast. We'll get to all that after the break.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Plan, book, and safeguard your journeys. Explore the possibilities at expediacruises.ca.
What makes West Shore Parks and Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
Well, Josh joins us now. Josh, you're not running out of ways to say it's going to rain yet, are you?
No. In fact, if that ever was the case, I'd have to find a new line of work, I think. There are some more showers. Now, there's a difference between showers and rain, right? Heavy, steady rain. And what we're going to see over the next couple of days, at least in Victoria, is more like hit and miss, occasional showers. It's not gonna pour all day. Once we get into the weekend and early next week, though, that's when we get some significant rain. It's 5 degrees right now. Right before the break, the weather station we were showing you had 4. This is from the airport. 4 degrees in Comox right now and 3 in Port Hardy. You can see cloudy skies across the north. We have had some waves of showers at times making their way across southern parts of the island. Midday, got a little gusty in the Victoria area. I think the wind should die down a little bit as we head through the course of the day tomorrow. Again, you're going to see scattered showers tonight and even early tomorrow. A little more organized rainfall there late in the day Thursday, and that'll drop south along the west coast through Thursday evening. But again, for Victoria, up through Nanaimo, it's more like just hit and miss precipitation for the next couple of days. So yes, we do have rain icons in the forecast, but it's not going to be steady precipitation. Periods of rain in the north, a little different story there with some heavier, steadier rain already by late tomorrow carrying through to Friday, and then the possibility for anywhere between 60 and well over 100 millimeters of rain there through the weekend and into early next week. 4 degrees for inland areas tomorrow. Mostly cloudy skies. You will see a few sunny breaks. You'll also possibly see a few scattered showers. Then some steadier rain for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Heavy rain in the forecast for Monday. Out on the west coast, chance of showers, 8 degrees tomorrow. 10 on Friday. I think you may actually see a few sunny breaks Friday, and then overcast and soaked through the weekend. Heavy, steady rain Saturday and Monday. Potential for well over 100 millimeters there over the course of those 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Comox, high of 5 tomorrow. Cloudy with a few sunny breaks. 40% chance of a scattered shower. It's a little steadier, that rainfall does for Friday, Saturday, and then heavy rain in the forecast for Sunday. Nanaimo as well. Looks like the heaviest, steadiest rain will be Sunday for the next couple of days. Mix of sun and cloud to mostly cloudy skies. 30% chance of a scattered shower tomorrow. 60% chance on Friday. And temperatures in that 7 or 8 degree range. We'll be a little bit above average. Average daytime high here in Victoria is 7. We'll be somewhere in the 8 to 10 degree range for the next 4 or 5 days. Mix of sun and cloud. Slight chance of a scattered shower tomorrow. 30% chance of a scattered shower as well on Friday and Saturday. Sunday, Monday. It really looks like the next big storm system to go through. So it does, yes, it does look wet over the next couple of days, just not heavy, steady, consistent rain until the end of the weekend. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. Nafisa.
All right, thanks, Josh. Well, after the capture of Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro, the Trump administration is moving in to control that country's oil, from selling it to the seizure of 2 tankers in an early morning raid. With more here, CTV's Joy Malbon in Washington.
Dramatic pictures posted by the Trump administration show the U.S. Coast Guard boarding a Russian-flagged oil tanker after chasing it in the North Atlantic for 2 weeks and risking a conflict with the Kremlin. Moscow officials angrily called the U.S. seizure outright piracy. Another vessel captured in the Caribbean, U.S. forces seen rappelling onto the deck of an empty vessel called the Sophia. Both ships accused of violating U.S. sanctions after the Trump administration ordered a blockade of Venezuelan oil, capturing its president Nicolas Maduro in a daring raid, accusing him of operating a narco-terrorist regime.
So our military is prepared to continue this. As he said, the president, when he speaks, he means it. He's not messing around.
It comes as President Donald Trump says he's in charge of Venezuela and will control its oil, posting the country will turn over 30 to 50 million barrels of oil to the U.S. The administration claims it has tremendous leverage to force the socialist government to become an ally.
We're going to sell it in the marketplace at market rates, not at the discounts Venezuela was getting. That money will then be handled in such a way that we will control how it is dispersed in a way that benefits the Venezuelan people, not corruption, not the regime.
After a classified briefing, several lawmakers are critical of Trump's attempt to reshape the world order.
This is an insane plan. They are talking about stealing the Venezuelan oil at gunpoint.
I am totally dissatisfied about their answers of going into other countries.
The Trump administration intends to oversee the sale of Venezuela's oil indefinitely, as President Trump plans to meet with major U.S. oil executives Friday about restarting drilling in Venezuela. Joy Malvin, CTV News, Washington.
WestJet recently announced a cabin redesign to add more seats, but passengers say it means less legroom. The airline argues this will help keep prices low, but the move is already raising questions about comfort and safety. Here's CTV's Heather Wright.
Dad, can you just straighten out your legs there?
Impossible. Economy class isn't known for its expansive legroom, but recent changes to some WestJet planes have some customers saying the airline has gone too far.
It was shocking to get in there and then have my dad, who is 6'3", so he's tall, but not like normal human height, physically not be able to fit in the seat.
Mom, how about you?
Amanda Schmidt posted this video to social media showing just how cramped their WestJet flight from Edmonton to Toronto was.
You can hear us joking and laughing in the video because it was like, it felt like a joke.
But the Schmidt family says not only were they uncomfortable, they also felt unsafe. In the fall, WestJet announced a new cabin configuration to offer different prices for seat selection and says the changes were rigorously tested and comply with all safety standards. The airline says the new configuration allows the carrier to keep airfares low. To continue to do so, we need to try new products. These aircraft accommodate an extra row by varying seat pitch between 38 and 28 inches. But some passengers say just because an airline can reduce legroom doesn't mean they should.
It's gotten worse, actually. We were very uncomfortable flying with them.
While others say they feel airlines are nickel and diming passengers on everything from legroom to luggage.
If there's too many little fees, it's better just to go with a different airline.
WestJet says they are monitoring the rollout of these new seat configurations and will take into account feedback from both passengers and staff on the changes that have been made. Heather Wright, CTV News.
Coming up, unexpected inspiration. Adam finds out how an explosion of feathers in a fireplace inspired a Victoria woman to get creative. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Finally, Adam finds out how a Victoria woman was inspired after being surprised by an uninvited visitor inside her home. On tonight's Encore Sawatsky Sign-Off.
I took my shoes off and... When Beth Doman arrived home that night, she was greeted by a peculiar sound.
Like, just a little bit of soot coming down here.
She wondered if it was a rodent and approached the fireplace to investigate.
And then all of a sudden, this explosion of feathers.
Beth thought it was a hawk at first, before the bird flew over the grate and into her living room.
And sat on my couch and stared at me.
It was an owl that by the time Beth could grab her camera, had flown to her front entrance.
You don't expect an owl to come down your chimney, so I was just a bit in shock for a minute.
Which was followed by worry for the bird's well-being.
It's okay. We'll let you outside. Oh, my God. It's okay. It's okay, sweetie. Here we go.
Beth says the owl spent another 20 minutes inside her home.
And I named him Barry. Barry the barred owl.
Before Barry bolted, seemingly unscathed, beyond Beth's front door and back to the wild.
All my friends were asking me if I got my Hogwarts letter.
In lieu of receiving a handwritten letter inviting her to enroll in Harry Potter's School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, Beth decided to express her thoughts and feelings about Barry by putting paint to paper.
Owls have a lot of meaning in different cultures. Sometimes they can be harbingers of doom. Other times they're a blessing.
And perhaps because she'd been painting watercolors of birds for years, Beth says Barry's visit very much felt like a blessing.
I feel just really special that he chose my chimney to fall down and that I got to have such a close experience with a wild animal.
Beth also got to paint how this story ends, with Barry happily on a branch, having delivered not post to Potter, but magical inspiration nonetheless. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
It's a good name for an owl, Barry. That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.